are covering Colorado First at 6 o'clock for you tonight. We begin with the latest on the horrific terror attack in Boulder. State and federal charges have now been filed against the man accused of attacking people with a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails. It happened yesterday during a peaceful march for Israeli hostages being held in Gaza. Officials revised the total number of people hurt to 12. Investigators say the suspect, 45-year-old Mohamed Sabry Soliman, told them he planned the attack for a year.
And when he was interviewed about the attack, he said he wanted them all to die. He had no regrets, and he would go back and do it again. He said that he had previously tried to purchase a firearm, but resorted to the Molotov cocktails when he could not purchase a gun because he was not a legal citizen.
Investigators say he had 16 unused Molotov cocktails when police were able to stop that attack. We do have team coverage for you tonight. CBS Colorado anchor Michael Spencer with our coverage from the Pearl Street Mall. Your investigator, Brian Moss, joins us in studio as he digs into the background of that suspect. And your investigator, Karen Morfett, has been in court today as that suspect makes his first appearance. Your reporter, Dylan Thomas, also going to be with us a little bit later as he hears from the Jewish community. We want to start with Michael Spencer live now from Pearl Street. And Michael, you've been sharing with us that the afternoon has been filled with some people walking around out there.
It has been, Karen. We've seen people come and place flowers on these barricades behind me. We should note that those barricades aren't necessarily blocking anything off. They're just set up really right in the middle of the lawn here on Pearl Street Mall. We've also seen business owners and mall goers going about their business as normal a day after yesterday's horrific attack. You know, you think back to yesterday, it was a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Boulder when that attack happened, and as would be customary on a beautiful day here in Boulder, the mall was filled with people coming out to shop, relax, eat, and hold peaceful demonstrations as well. One of the many things that we've heard from people today, whether they be business owners or people who were just coming out to eat or people who were coming out to reflect on yesterday's horrific attack, is that there was a sense of trying to support one another and be there for each other a day after what they witnessed just yesterday.
Hopefully people are not going to be intimidated by what happened yesterday, and they will come to show support to the community.
Now, that suspect, 45-year-old Mohamed Sabry, faces a long list of charges, including federal hate crime charges. He was in Boulder court just a few hours ago. Your investigator, Karen Morfett, was there as well. So, Karen, what happened when he appeared in court today?
Well, Michael, today was the suspect's first court appearance where they discussed bond. They left it at $10 million cash only. They also set his next hearing where he will be officially charged with those counts, 16 attempted murder counts as well. We know that he will also be facing, like you said, a federal hate crime charge. He entered the courtroom earlier today at the jail here in Boulder County wearing an orange jumpsuit, his hands cuffed in front of him. He also had his head bandaged up from where he was injured from that flamethrower. The hearing was brief before he was escorted out, but it meant heightened security here at the jail around the building with snipers on the roof, bomb-sniffing dogs in the parking lot. The arrest paperwork for that suspect today also revealed that he started planning the attack a year ago, wanted to initially use a gun, but couldn't get one because he's not a legal citizen, and that he learned to make those Molotov cocktails from watching YouTube videos. We also learned that today during a press conference with local and state and federal officials more about his motive. The acting U.S. Attorney for Colorado sharing some of that information earlier.
And he acted because he hated what he called the Zionist group. But what the charges allege that he did was to throw Molotov cocktails at a group of men and women, some of them in their late 80s, burning them as they peacefully walked on a Sunday to draw attention to Israeli hostages held in Gaza.
Now, the FBI special agent in charge also spoke at that press conference earlier today, saying that they were able to get phones and other electronic devices from the suspect, that they're going to be looking into those. But right now, they believe that he acted on his own. Of course, that will be part of the ongoing investigation. And as we mentioned, that suspect will be back here in this courtroom here at the jail on Thursday afternoon for official filing of those charges. We're live in Boulder tonight. Karen Morfitt covering Colorado First.
Karen, thank you. And of course, we will continue to follow those court proceedings as well. I want to turn now to your investigator, Brian Moss. Brian, I know you've been doing a lot of digging into this suspect to learn more about who he is.
Soliman talked to police and federal investigators after he was taken into custody, telling them he hated Zionists and would conduct an attack again if he was given the chance. A new mugshot of the suspect, Mohamed Sabry, with a bandage on the right side of his face following the attack. An attack out of place and frightening for some of his neighbors in Colorado Springs.
It's scary. It doesn't seem realistic. My daughter played over there. These are everyday people.
Soliman lived in this building on Washoe Circle in the Springs, telling police he lived with his wife and 5 children. My name is Brian Moss with CBS in Denver. We reached a woman who identified herself as Soliman's wife, who said, "You are a newspaper. We don't want to talk. Thank you." CBS News has confirmed Soliman worked for Uber, first delivering food in 2023, then driving passengers. Uber said Soliman met all the company requirements, including her criminal background check. The company said Soliman had no concerning feedback while driving on the platform.
More info at...
He also worked at this Centennial-based healthcare company in 2023, working for 3 months in the accounting department. The company said he had a valid work visa that expired in March of this year. Now, the federal government previously said Soliman, who is originally from Egypt, came to the U.S. in August of 2022 on a tourism visa, and he sought asylum here. His visa expired, though, in 2023, and a work authorization he had obtained expired in March of this year. Now, in his interview with police, Soliman said he left an iPhone hidden at his home in a desk drawer with messages to his family. Michael, back to you in Boulder.
All right, Brian, thank you. Of course, reaction continuing to come in from across the country tonight. Governor Polis was in Denver today, signing several bills into law. And while he was doing that, he made sure to condemn the attacks here in Boulder, which is his hometown.
I just also want to speak out and say that these kinds of anti-Semitic acts are not welcome in our state, in our country. We condemn them. And that in our Colorado for All, there's room for everybody to get along, to have their rights of free speech respected, and that hate and violence have no place in the state of Colorado.
Now, the bills that the governor signed today include one that aims to reduce gun theft and another that would include tougher penalties for those who steal guns. Karen, of course, we will have much more coverage on this story throughout the afternoon and evening right here on CBS News Colorado. Back to you in the studio for now.
All right, Michael, thank you. Now, as we've said, yesterday's attack happened during what's become a weekly tradition for many in the Jewish community in Boulder, as well as other parts of our state. They peacefully gather and exercise their right to free speech. Until now, the worst they might encounter is a counter-protester, not an extreme act of violence. Your reporter Dylan Thomas spoke with some of those people today, and Dylan, they're understandably shaken by what happened yesterday.
You know, some of the witnesses say that this was a march that they have done every single week for a year now. But they tell me the second they entered this park right here behind me, there was something that just felt off. But never could they have imagined the violence that was about to ensue.
24 hours after the terror attack in Boulder, Lisa Tronquist couldn't help but to return to the place where everything changed. Looking back on Sunday,
it was a normal day
until the weekly walk to support Israeli hostages reached its regular ending spot, the historic Boulder County Courthouse, where she says everything just felt odd.
The groundskeeper was here and we didn't know why. Things were off.
Suddenly, she heard a smash.
The glass breaking and the heat on the back of my legs was was surprising.
She turned to look what was causing all the heat.
That's when I saw the big explosion. I pushed my dog out of the way and saw the lady on the ground with the legs burning.
Tronquist said she initially was going to confront the man who was allegedly screaming anti-Israel comments with Molotov cocktails in his hands.
He started to make like gestures like he was going to come and throw a bottle at me, so I backed off.
So she turned her attention to the wounded. Some were still on fire, including one woman near her.
The fire just kept up. We were trying to get it out, and finally, because her clothes were burned into her skin, pour water on her and it would just stay lit, and then the towels and smothering it finally put it out.
It was the woman's first time marching with this group.
It took 7 or 8 of us to put the fire out on her.
Tronquist said it is common for their group to be heckled in Boulder. In fact, they almost kind of expect it now. But never did she think their peaceful marches would be met with violence.
We just want them to see that we're human. I don't know what else to say.
While her heart is with those who were impacted, Tronquist tells me this is also kind of triggering because sadly she lost her brother to severe burns many years ago. Reporting live in Boulder, Dylan Thomas covering Colorado First.
All of it heartbreaking. Dylan, thank you. We will continue to follow the latest developments as the story, of course, continues. You can find all those updates as soon as they happen on our website, cbscolorado.com.